Hey, I've never had a chance to do contender or pretender in my life before, so it's a high honor to do it here in Building 511 in front of the troops. Sean likes to call it truth or fool. Sean plays some tackle football, and he misses the relationships in the locker room. We got Lieutenant, not just a lieutenant, but First Lieutenant Chris Coleman. A lot of you know him. Let's get right to it. Lieutenant, First Lieutenant. Deion Sanders back in the NFL at 37, trying to work with the offense. Can he help that offense? Is that a pretender or a contender?
Pretender. He hasn't caught a pass since 1999. Essentially what's going on is Kyle Boiler had one pass over 20 yards last week. The Steelers are going to be able to stack against the run.
Google this thing? Or what?
Yeah, Google. And essentially what's going to happen is the Steelers have no threats against any of their wide receivers, so they're doing this just to keep the Steelers off guard.
Yeah, it's pretender. The Steelers are not worried about Deion Sanders on offense. He's got enough to do on defense. Pretender, it's not going to matter. Although the Baltimore Ravens, wide receivers aren't very good right now.
Browns won big over the Ravens in week 1. Now they got Lee Suggs back. Does the addition make them a legitimate threat in the AFC? Pretender or contender?
Pretender. These are the same Browns from last year that went 5-11. Butch Davis is still the coach. Their offensive line still has trouble. They're not going to do that well this year.
I say it's a pretender also, but having Suggs, having Garcia, having Winslow is going to make them better. They were the shock of week 1, but I think that's more of an aberration. A ways away, it's pretender. They're not going to the playoffs in 2004.
Colts got beat up by the Pats. Mike Doss is now out without him. Still a contender in the AFC or a pretender?
Well, that secondary is more banged up than just Mike Doss. So pretty much this team is going to go 0-3.
Are you trying to take Clayton's job? What's going on here?
Yes, I'd like to, actually. They're going to lose against the Titans. They're going to lose against Green Bay. They can't go 0-3 and go to the AFC Championship.
Are you kidding? Well, you don't want Clayton's job because I rip him to shreds every week, too. So it's a contender. Are you kidding? The Colts have never won on defense, and they're not going to win on defense this year, but they will win on offense. Manning, James, Harrison, they'll be playing late into the playoffs. Doss or no Doss, contender.
You know, Panthers lost Steve Smith, broke his leg. It was nasty. We showed it about 11 times. So, are the Panthers, who could have won the Super Bowl, a pretender or a contender?
They're pretender. They lost more than just Steve Smith. Last year, they've lost 3 offensive linemen from that team. They gave up 140 yards rushing against Green Bay. This is not the same team. They're not going to go that far this year.
I think they're a contender. You got too much time on your hands, too, with all this knowledge and stuff. But they're a contender. This is the Carolina Panthers. Well coached. A quarterback who's a star. Steve Smith or no Steve Smith, this football team will still be there in the end.
And they still got he hate me. Who hate me? Let's go to Stewart.
Thanks, Lieutenant.
Lieutenant Coleman is hot. John Clayton is not. When we get back, not a whole lot to cheer about in Arizona except